Welcome back to another installment on Endless Winter, and today we're checking out part 7 of this event. We're going to see more of the Viking Justice League. We're going to see the Justice League Dark get involved in this story. We're going to see a little bit of the Frost King, and a lot of character development in Apolta, Viking Prince, Swamp Thing, and yeah, there's a lot of big developments in this issue, and a really cool cliffhanger, alright? So, if you guys are ready, let's dive into Justice League Dark number 29. We open with the Viking Justice League of Black Adam, Hippolyta, and Viking Prince going up against this horde of ice monsters led by the Frost King. Now they're getting overwhelmed, but the Viking Prince says, "Odin, grant me strength." Now he gets his sword, he tries to attack, but that's when he's hit off this hill, right off this ledge. But he catches himself with his sword. You are shook. Now he gets up and he says, "Not yet." Now the Frost King comes above him with his big sword and says, "Treacherous demon, death comes to you now." But the Viking Prince fights back and they clash swords. You are shank. Now the Viking Prince says, "It never does. The glacier's still hungry." Now the Frost King stabs the Viking Prince and says, "My gift." Now the Viking Prince, he yells in agony, then grabs the Frost King's hand and says, "My death is supposed to be a heroic one. You're going to be coming with me." Now he pulls the Frost King off this ledge. They start to go into a free fall. Now Hippolyta yells, "John!" Now Hippolyta and Black Adam team up against these ice monsters. Hippolyta says, "The Viking Prince's death is on your head, you arrogant fool." Now Black Adam says, "We are warriors, Hippolyta. Warriors make sacrifices." And Hippolyta says, "John was not yours to sacrifice. Neither was that family." Now she looks down to the glacier. The family of the Frost King is gone. She says, "And now all of them are gone. John." Now we see Frost King. He starts to attack the Viking Prince as they free fall. And the Frost King says, "Release me, you must. I have to save them." Now we see the Frost King. His humanity starts to show. But Viking Prince says, finally, he's having a heroic death. Now we see Viking Prince and the Frost King, they fall into this abyss. They're gone. Now we shift to the present day, and Apolta is telling Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, this story. She says, "We lost him. The Viking Prince died because of our decisions." Now Diana says, "Why did you never tell me this story, Mother?" And Hippolyta says, "You didn't need such tales, Diana. Donna did, even with the truth hidden in fable." Now, Barry says, "I'm not gonna get in trouble for bringing Hippolyta here, am I?" And that's when Diana says, "Barry, hush." Now, Hippolyta says, "I've had more than my share of regrets over the centuries. What happened with the Frost King, chief among them. By the time the blizzard and his ice horde descended upon Themyscira, and I realized the Frost King must have returned, it was too late for me to reach out to you. We defended our home until Donna and the Flash arrived to help defeat the incursion. Donna returned to the Titans, but I'm here to make this right." Now, Barry says, "Obviously, we need all the help we can get, especially any insight into actually finding the Frost King and beating him. The world's approaching a tipping point, and if we don't end this endless winter soon, the planet won't be able to recover regardless. The Justice League is stretched thin already, and the Frost King's avatars keep appearing across the globe." Now we see in Rome, Kosei, Moscow, and Kondog. We see Black Adam, Cyborg, Starfire, Hawkgirl, John Stewart, the Green Lantern, Batman, Superman. They're all fighting these fake, imposture-like Frost Kings, right? So just all these ice monsters that are looking like the Frost King, but it's not actually him. None of these heroes and anti-heroes can find the real Frost King. Now, that's when Flash says to Wonder Woman, "We can't defeat him if we can't find him. You put the Justice League Dark team together. Diana, this is your show." Now, Diana says, "Kirk, any progress from you and Khalid while we were out in the field?" Now, Kirk, aka Man-Bat, says, "Our research hasn't yielded very much. Flash, to bring you up to speed, We found little precedent for a global climactic event like this, so we sought out the parliaments of life, the black, the red, the gray, and the divided. You remember them, right? Total sweethearts. We tried to commune with them, but they're nearly dormant due to this winter. The black whispered about everything being wiped clean and started anew, while the green wants to help, but is gravely weakened. Now it's when Khalid says the green needs an avatar. That's always been Swamp Thing, but after his sacrifice in the other place, we don't even know if he's still alive. The only way to find out is by returning to New Myra. Now, that's when we see Detective Chimp. He walks in with his sword. Now, Flash, he runs out. He says, I'll let the rest of the league know what's happening. Good luck and stay in contact. Now, Zatanna says, we will. Now, Detective Chimp, he gets out his sword. He opens up a portal to New Myra. And Detective Chimp says, yes, I'm making the arrangements. Detective Chimp, travel agency at your service. Now, that's what Hippolyta says to Diana, her daughter. Diana, I'm responsible for this. I should be the one to go. Now, Diana says, we all carry what burden we can, Mother. You taught me that. This is mine. Now, Diana and Zatanna, they walk through this portal and they make it to New Myra. It's a very beautiful place with a lot of green surrounding it. Now, Zatanna says, the other place changed into something beautiful. And Diana says, seeing this dead realm brought back to life gives me hope that Swamp Thing might be the key to saving Earth, assuming he's still alive. What's this? We see the green starts attacking them, and that's when Diana says, the other kinds. And Zatanna says, and now they just stopped. What's going on here? We see Swamp Thing comes out. He says, my apologies. That was rude of me. Those were an automatic response to intruders here. They're a part of me, and I am part of New Myra. Think of them as my immune system. I should have minded them, but I was not expecting guests. Now Zatanna says, Swamp Thing, this place is you? Now, that's when we see Diana. She watches as Swamp Thing walks toward them. Diana says, we need you. The earth is in a blizzard. All life is threatened. The green, everything. Now, Swamp Thing walks toward them and says, I sensed something, but my connection to the green is remote here, like a distant echo. The elementals have entered a state of quiescence. They cannot fight such colds, so they will lie dormant and emerge again when it has passed. Life as we know it may not survive, but I cannot join your struggle. I cannot leave New Myra, lest the other place reassert itself and overwhelm all. There might be a way, but you'll need help beyond mine. Now we shift and we see Hippolyta. She says, there are no answers in these books. This is a place of magic, yes? And that's when Detective Chimp responds and says, well, not like a theme park, but yeah. Now, Hippolyta says, I brought items that may prove useful, but I need more. Can you get me what I need, Bobo? Now, Bobo says, oh, you know me, I just live to serve. What do you need? Now, Hippolyta says, candles, salt, and meat. Now, she surrounds his table with salt. She says, I invoke the fellowship of shielded maidens and call the Valkyries to hear my entreaty. Now, Khalid says, ancient Norse magic of the Sadir, a summoning spell. Now, that's when Hippolyta says, I offer mead to Valhalla. I make the sign of summoning. And Detective Chimp says, seems like a waste of good booze. You sure it'll work? And Hippolyta says, I'm an immortal Amazon queen. I picked up a few parlor tricks. That's when we see his flash of lights, and out of it comes Viking Prince from Valhalla. He says, why has the spirit of the Viking Prince been summoned from Valhalla's eternal halls? Now Detective Chimp says, whoa, and that's when Hippolyta says, nice to see you too, John. Now Detective Chimp says, geez Louise, it actually worked. Now, Viking Prince, he goes down to the ground and he says to Hippolyta, Hippolyta, it was you who summoned me. Now, Hippolyta says, it was. We need you, John Haraldson. I'm sorry to disturb your rest, John, but the Frost King has returned. Perhaps there's a chance to right our wrong. Now, Viking Prince says, There was indeed tragedy that day, but it was not my sacrifice that I did gladly. We plunged into the crevices, and there was a moment when the Frost King's humanity began to surface. Edwald cried out for his lost family. The man he once was tried to return, but his power overwhelmed him in everything else. Now Paul just sits down and says, Edward Olafsson was never our enemy, only that power. Now, Viking Prince puts out his hands and says, if we can find his family, we can find Edward's. Now, Khalid says, Bobo, that's rude. And we see Bobo, guys, this is hilarious. Bobo puts his hand through the spirit of Viking Prince, and Bobo says, but it feels cold. He's actually very fascinated by it. Now, Viking Prince says, at the very end, the Frost King was merely a man, scared and alone. If that power has been unleashed again, I would join the battle against it. But I don't understand how a disembodied spirit can aid you. Now, Bobo says, this just keeps getting weirder. We see Diana and Zatanna, they come back from New Myra. Diana says, turns out that's exactly what we need. This is from Swamp Thing. Zatanna says, this is Swamp Thing. Though I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to work. Now, Diana says, it's a vessel, but an empty one. Now we see this plant life from Swamp Thing start to take over the spirit of the Viking Prince. Kirk says, fascinating, abstract etheric entity merged with a metamorphic corporeal elemental. And that's what Paul says, John, that's you? And we see John, Viking Prince, he's now the new Swamp Thing. He says, the Green has a new champion. And Bobo says, oh yeah, I think this endless winter is about to get hot. Now guys, this is awesome. Seeing Viking Prince get the power of Swamp Thing and these two characters like combined. Like for one, Swamp Thing getting a new look is just so cool. And with him with like the axe and stuff ready to go, being the new champion, it's a really great ending to this issue. So that was Endless Winter Part 7. And guys, this is probably my favorite installment of this event yet. It's a really great installment because there's a lot of exciting moments and the ending gets me so hyped, guys. Seeing Viking Prince become the new Swamp Thing. For one, the beginning of the issue with the flashback sequence, and we see Viking Prince, he does a heroic death, and he defeats the Frost King. It was a very interesting start to the issue. Gave a lot of validation to the flashbacks and made it seem important, right? Because in past issues, at times, the flashback sequences wouldn't seem as important. Yes, they would be entertaining, but not that much would happen, right? So we'd be in the same place as the last issue. Where this issue progressed the story a lot in the flashbacks and gave a very great moment for the Viking Prince. Now, Viking Prince gets even better with him becoming the new Swamp Thing. But before that happens, we see Diana and Zatanna, they go in New Myra. They meet up with Swamp Thing. And guys, Swamp Thing's depiction in this issue is just amazing. I like how he's depicted. We see a lot of emotion, his motives are very clear, and it's just such an awesome character and an interesting addition to this event. Now, the ending, Viking Prince and Swamp Thing become pretty much one character, and it just is so cool. Because you see Bobo, I actually had the same reaction as Bobo, like, let's go. This event just got a lot more interesting and very unpredictable, right? Now, other parts of the issue, we had a lot of cameos and guest stars, like Apollo, Wonder Woman, Flash. Now guys, the art in this issue is just amazing. It's done very well. There's a lot of beautiful and striking images, especially when Diana and Zatanna go on New Myra. Like all the plant life and the double page spreads just really make this issue stand out. So yeah guys, by far my favorite issue in this event. And if you've been following this event so far, don't skip this issue. If you haven't, still check this issue out. Because you get a lot of great character moments with Viking Prince, Swamp Thing, Diana, Zatanna, Bobo. There's so many great moments in this issue, and it just comes around as an overall solid standalone issue and solid installments in this event. And that's why I'm going to give it an 8.7 out of 10. I recommend it. Check it out. And yeah, guys, tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. If you like the video, give it a big thumbs up. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Endless Winter video. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.